Hi Yogis, welcome to Yoga Flow. This will be an efficient workout if you don't have much time, but you really want to get some dynamic stretching going and just get into your breath and find some movement. So that is the intention for the class today. So we'll just begin in a seated position, please. Oh, and a couple of yoga blocks may be helpful for you today, particularly when we start getting into hamstrings. Might be helpful to have a couple of these handy near the top of your mat. So let's just begin in a seated position. Let the spine rise up tall. Let the hands just rest softly on your legs. And then close your eyes. Begin to breathe through the nose, smooth and steady. Observe the spine lengthening. The lower body is grounding down into the floor like roots, and the spine is rising up like a stem out of the earth. And growing taller right up through the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders. Really observe the breath smooth and even and full. And one more breath like this. So I'll mirror you here. So let's start off with the twist to the right. Now, and we're going to be coming in and out of a twist, but we'll stay in this direction. So start with your left hand to your right leg, and it might help if you bring your shins in, cross them right around mid-shin so you can hold on to the knee. So we start by holding on to the right knee with the left hand, and like you're trying to pull yourself out of the twist. And the idea is that we're lengthening through the back of this left shoulder socket here. You can tuck your chin a little bit. And then as you inhale, lift up through the spine, and then just try to turn a little bit more to the right. And then exhale like you're coming out of the twist and you're opening up across the back of the shoulder blade. And then inhale, bend your elbow a little bit, lift up through the spine and twist. And do this again. Exhale, you straighten the arm and you're trying to pull the shoulder back away from the wrist. And then one more time. Inhale, lift up and twist. And exhale like you're pulling the shoulder back. And then just rotate the left arm up and over the head, and let's switch this to the other direction. So now we're twisting to the left, right hand to the left knee. Let's start on the exhale, get a good grip on the knee, and try to pull the shoulder back, lengthen the arm, tuck the chin, and then inhale, roll to the front of the sit bones, lift up in the spine, twist. Exhale, like you're trying to come out of the twist, but you're keeping the hand on the knee. Chin comes down. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head and twist. Last time. Exhale, see if you can create some space around the right shoulder blade. And then inhale, lift up and turn. And then take the right arm up and over the head and all the way back. And then let's come to a seat facing the front, and your feet are to the floor. And your hands are right back under your shoulders. Turn your fingers out a little bit. Let's move through a cat-cow from this position. So inhale and lift up through the spine. Exhale, bend your elbows and let the spine round down, tucking the chin down. Inhale, lift up through the heart, through the center of the chest. Exhale, and just like you're hammocking the spine down towards the ground. And then one more time, inhale to lift. Bend through the elbows as you exhale, back down. Okay, just come to a neutral spine here. Hands down, feet are on the floor. Let's lift up the hips, come to a reverse tabletop. Walk your feet in a little bit and take your right leg up into the air. Exhale, take the right leg down, out to the side as you inhale, up and over the left leg, and then lower your hips down. Take your legs over to the left, so you're coming into a twist. And then then take your knees back up, lift your hips back up, reach your right leg back up again. And then take the leg out to the side and then bend your right knee and tuck the right ankle behind the left leg. You're going to take your left hand over towards the right side of the mat and lower your chest down as you lift your back leg up. And then come back around and sweep your left arm back and your left leg forward. So left hand comes back down to the floor, lower the chest and lift your back leg. Keep the knee bent. Come back up, take your top arm back and your top leg in front of you. And last time, hand comes down, you're lowering the chest. Lift yourself back up and take the leg across the body. Lower the left hand down, place the left foot down. So rise back up with the right leg up and then place the right foot down. And then other side, take your left leg up into the air. Exhale, lower the left leg directly down in front of you. Take it out to the side and up. Inhale, wrap the thigh, left thigh over the right, and then lower the hips down. Take both of your legs down over to the left. There we go. Inhale your legs back up. Now your left leg lifts back up again. Take it out to the left and then bend the knee and tuck the left ankle behind the right. And then you're going to lower both hands down to the right side. Lower the chest down and pick your back leg up behind you. Come up onto straight arms, swing the right leg across the body and the right arm back. And then right hand comes down to the floor. Lower the chest down, pick up your back leg and inhale. Sweep the leg across the body. A little turn to the right here. Last time, hand comes down, lower the chest. Inhale, come up, arm and leg move opposite of each other. And then place the right foot down and the right hand down. Lift up through the hips, unwind your left leg, reach it up, and then lower the left foot down. Sit your bottom down on the floor. Reach your arms forward. Now we're going to get a little momentum, rocking forward and back, and we're going to end up in a squat at the top of the mat. So maybe you can rock back and then rock forward and land on your feet. Or maybe you need to use your hands to press up onto your feet. So see what works for you. Rock back, come back and forward just a few times before you try to come up and land on your feet. So try rocking forward and back about 2 or 3 times. And then see if you can come up and land on your feet into a squat near the top of your mat. And if you need to use your hands to press yourself up, that's fine. Just be here for another breath or 2. Lengthen up through the base of your skull. And then place your hands down on the floor and walk your feet back to a downward facing dog. You can pedal out the feet here if you'd like to, alternate bending through the knees. Reach your ribs back, not really necessarily the front of your ribs, but the entire circumference, the base of your ribs are moving back. Lower your knees slowly down to the floor. Take your right knee under you and forward. Inhale, widen the knee out, circle it back, and exhale, curl the knee under. Inhale, take the knee out wide to the side and back. Exhale, curl under. Inhale, out and back, and then lower the right knee down. And then the left knee. First it comes forward, and then out to the side on the inhale, and then back down, exhale. Forward and out, inhale. Exhale, back down. One more time. Inhale, out. And exhale, down. Let's take the hips back into child's pose. Forehead rest down. Let the arms rest down. Let the hips get heavy over your heels. Reconnect with your breath. One more breath here. So we're going to add on to that. So let's come up to all fours. So take your right knee forward, swing it out behind you and around. Do that 2 more times. Take the knee under you just like we did. Inhale out and around, exhale down. Inhale out and around, now stay here. Now the knee is going to point back, come up high onto your right fingertips. Extend your right leg back. Now it's going to be wobbly here, so see if you can reach your right arm up. And it helps to push down through the base of your thumb and the base of your pinky finger here. So we're kind of balancing on a tightrope. Do the best you can. Now we're going to bring this right foot forward to the top of the mat. So it's a little core control. Start to bring the knee, bent knee forward, and then place the right foot carefully at the top of the mat. And once you're there and you're stable, then your left arm is going to windmill up and around behind you. You can either bring the left hand to the back of the hip or bring the left hand down to the heel. Your right arm is going to reach up and back behind you. And then lead with the right arm, windmill your arms forward, down to the floor. Take your right leg back behind you like a big scorpion tail. Shift forward and lower the chest. These are scorpion push-ups. Press yourself back up to all fours. Your left toes are curled under. Let's bring the right knee under. Lift your left knee and then reach your right leg up behind you, three-legged dog. And now let's bring the right foot forward again, coming into a lunge. Pause here. Just pause here in your runner's lunge. Just take a breath or two. Let's get some movement through this right shoulder here. So take the right arm directly back behind you. Turn the palm up. Look back over your back arm. Inhale here. Exhale, reach the arm up to the ceiling and then forward. Like you're pushing the air forward, and then you can even straighten your front leg a little bit. Bend the front knee, reach the arm back. Inhale, turn the palm up. Exhale, like you're pushing the air up and over your head and down to the front of your mat. You can straighten your front leg. Bend the knee, inhale, reach back through the right arm. Exhale, push up and down with the top arm, and then just come back to a lunge. Lower your back knee, inhale, both of your arms reach up to the sky on Asana. Exhale, touch your hands down to the floor, and send your hips back as you straighten through the right leg. So here's where you might want the blocks under your hands if your hamstrings are tight on this right side. You want to try to keep the spine lengthening forward. Keep your right ankle flexed, the toes are pulling back towards the knee. Breathe into the side of your ribs. And then let's shift forward into the front foot and take it back to plank pose. Inhale here in plank. Lower the knees down, come all the way down to your belly. Roll your shoulders back, tops of the feet down. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale back to child's pose. Stay here for a moment. The head soften down. And then rise back up to all fours. Let's do that on the left leg. So as you exhale, pull the left knee under you. Inhale, take it out to the side. Do that 2 more times. Exhale, knee comes forward and under. Inhale, out to the side and back. Exhale, forward and underneath you. Inhale, out to the side. Once the knee is pointing back, keep it there. Start to get lighter on your left fingers. Now, if you need to keep your left fingers down on the floor here, you can. Start to straighten through your top leg so it reaches towards the wall behind you. And now to balance, we've got to push down into the thumb pad and the pinky finger pad on the right hand. If you need to swivel your back shin, your bottom shin back a little bit, that'll help, but then it'll be tougher once we're going to step this left foot to the front of the mat. So it would be ideal if your left shin is just down in line with the wrist. One more breath here, and then we're going to slowly step this left foot to the front of the mat for a low lunge. Start to bend the knee, take the leg forward. This is a little core control here, so we're moving slow. And then we slowly and carefully place the foot down. Now just level your hips and the shoulders to the floor. And then your right arm is going to swing up and around behind you. You can either take the hand to the back of the hip here or down onto the heel, and your left arm is going to reach up and back behind you. And then leading with the left arm, windmill your arms forward again. Place the hands down. Take your left knee back behind you, lift it up high, shift forward, lower the chest, exhale. Inhale up onto straight arms. Curl your right toes under. Pull the left knee under, hover the right knee, and then inhale, left leg up into the air, behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot between your hands, be here, runner's lunge for just a moment. Push down more into the left foot. See if you can get lighter on your hands. More weight in the feet, less weight in the hands. And we'll find the twist here. So let's reach the left arm back behind us with the palm face up. This is your inhale. Exhale, the arm reaches up to the ceiling and then forward. And as you push the air forward, start to straighten your front leg. And then bend the knee as you inhale, reach the arm back. Look back. Exhale, push the air up and over your head to the front of your mat. Maybe straighten the leg a little bit. Inhale, reach back. Front knee is bent. Exhale, reach the arm up and over. And then just slow pause here. Lower your right knee down. Inhale, both of your arms reach up. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. And then you straighten your front leg. Lift your hips back over your back knee. Keep a flex to the ankle. Use the blocks under your hands here. That will help you find more length in the front leg. Think of reaching the spine like you're lengthening it, lengthening the spine forward out of your pelvis. Try to tilt your sit bones back. Spread the toes of this front foot. And then let's come back forward into the left foot and step it back again to downward dog. Find the breath smooth and even. Shift forward to plank pose. Inhale, lower the knees down. Lower your chest down to the floor. Roll the shoulders back, tops of the feet down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale through all fours back to downward facing dog. How is your breathing? Really connect with the breath. You're very conscious of your breath, breathing through the nose. Try to fill it out a little bit and make it a little bit longer. And then walk your hands back to the feet, coming into Uttanasana at the back of the mat. If you need to bring the blocks along with you, you can to go under your hands, or you can bend the knees. Push into the feet and inhale, rise all the way up to stand, arms reach up at the top. Exhale, come forward and down, right back down through center, Uttanasana, hands to the floor. Bend the knees, inhale, reach the spine halfway forward. Walk the hands forward to downward facing dog. Shift forward to plank pose, lift your right leg. Take your right leg out to the side, like you're trying to kick the wall just to the right of you. Pause here. And then take the leg back. Lower your left outer heel down. Take the right foot to the floor behind you for Wild Thing. Inhale, lift up through the hips. Now we're going to step this right foot forward to the front of the mat. Go slow with intention. Lift your right knee up, lift the foot up. Start to rotate the foot forward. Place it down softly at the top of the mat. Once your hips are level, rise up to Crescent Warrior. Inhale, the arms reach up. Take the elbows out to the side, find goalpost arms. Pull the wrists back and the elbows forward. Lift up through the heart. You can keep the back knee bent if you like. It'll help to lengthen out the low back, if that will help your low back. If you can straighten through the back leg, then you'll get more opening through this front hip flexor here on the left side. Reach your arms up, inhale. Lace your hands down on the floor. So we're going to do a step through of this left leg. It's going to come under you and it's going to come forward. So you might want your block for this because it'll give you some more ground clearance. So you're going to push down into the left hand, whether it's on a block or on the floor. Pick up your back leg, swing it under you and forward, and this is a pistol squat. And then we'll lower the bum down to the floor. Lift your legs up, boat pose, inhale. Exhale, roll onto your back, catch the hips in your hands, lift the hips up, half shoulder stand. Roll back up to boat pose, inhale. Pause here as you exhale, come into half boat. Inhale, back up into boat pose. Roll onto your back, lift your hips up, hips come into your hands, legs are just angled up over the body. And then we're going to rock up into a squat. Remember we did that in the very beginning? So release your hips, roll forward, and come into a squat at the top of the mat. Pause here. Lift up through the base of the skull. One more breath. Okay. Take the right hand behind you. Lift up the right foot, maybe tap it with the left hand. Place the foot down and come back to a squat. Bring the left hand to the floor right under the shoulder. Lift up your left foot, maybe tap it with your right hand. Place the left foot down back into a squat. Place both hands down, step the right foot back to the lunge. Straighten through the front leg, you can lower the back heel down, pyramid pose. Use the blocks under your hands here if you'd like to. Push down into the inner ball of your front foot. Lift the flesh of your back thigh up. Move the outer left hip back. And let's bend the front knee, inhale. Step it back to downward facing dog, exhale. Shift forward to plank pose, inhale. Just move through a vinyasa. You can do knees down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Shift forward to plank pose, lift your left leg. Take your left leg directly out to the left. And then the leg comes back, lower the outer edge of your right foot down and lift your top leg. Bring your left foot to the floor behind you for wild thing. Lift up through your hips. So your top leg is straight, your left leg, your bottom leg, your right leg is, your bottom leg is straight, your top leg is bent. Reach for the wall in front of you. And then as you come up, pick up your left knee, and we're going to step this left foot to the front of the mat. So it's a very slow, controlled movement. Try to place it softly down. Just level out through your hips, through your back leg, and then rise on up to crescent warrior. Inhale, arms reach up. Bend your elbows out to the side. Draw the wrists back and the elbows forward. Lift up more through the heart. Remember, back knee can be bent if you need to find more length in the low back. If you want more opening through the hip flexor, try to straighten your front leg, reach back through the heel. Reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale, touch your hands down. Okay, so we're going to step the right foot forward beyond the front edge of the mat. Or coming into a pistol squat, so it helps to have a block under your right hand so you have some more ground clearance. So push down into the right hand, pick up your right leg, swing it under you, hover here into a pistol squat, and then lower your bottom down to the floor. Come into boat pose, inhale. Exhale, roll onto your back, lift your hips come into the hand. If you have the room in the back of your body to touch your toes to the floor, plow pose, give that a try. Roll back up into boat pose, inhale. Exhale, half boat pose. Just lowering down, otherwise called canoe. Inhale, back up into boat. Roll onto the back, catch the hips in your hands, elbows are down, maybe the legs are angled over your head, or maybe the toes start to come to the floor behind you into plow. And then we're going to see if we can roll up on or rock up onto our feet into a squat. So release your hips, rock forward. Can you land on your feet? So into a squat. Malasana. So lift up through the base of the skull. Try to move the ears up away from the shoulders, but move the shoulders down. One more breath. And bring the left hand to the floor just under the shoulder. Lift your left leg, maybe tap it with your right hand. Place the left foot down. Other side, right hand to the floor behind you. Lift your right foot up, maybe tap it. Place the foot down. And now we're going to step the left foot back into a lunge. Straighten through the front leg, lower the back heel down. You might need to shorten the stance a little bit, shorten the space between your feet. You need to. So the back heel can come down. Move your right outer hip back and push down into the inner ball of the right foot. And again, blocks may be helpful under your hands here if the hamstrings are tight. Can you move your sit bones back? Bend into your front knee, inhale to lunge. Step it back, downward dog. Apply the breath smooth and deep. Notice if your front floating ribs, if you're dropping them downwards towards the floor. If you're really flexible in the shoulders, this is a common thing for people to do. And if you're really bendy in your back even, you might be tempted to just let the front of your ribs just really move down towards the floor. So instead, think of knitting your front floating ribs in towards you. So you're finding this length of the spine, but we're not really hyperextending through the spine. Walk your hands back towards your feet, Uttanasana. Just let the crown of the head soften down. Push into the four corners of your feet. Try to lift the flesh of your thighs up. Push into the feet, inhale, rise up to stand, arms reach up at the top, inhale. Exhale, palms together, flow right down through the center. Inhale, lengthen halfway forward, and walk your hands forward to downward dog. Take your feet a little wider on your mat. Shift forward to plank pose, take your right arm out to the side, out to the right. Take the right arm under you as you lift your hips. Take your right hand to your left shin. Look under your left arm. This is down dog twist. Inhale with your right arm back out to the side. Lower your heels to the left. Reach your top arm up, side plank variation. Lower your hips just part way down as you sweep your top arm down. Lift your hips back up. Lift your top arm back up. Here we go. Let's transfer this right foot up and over to the other side of the mat, the left side of the mat, and then lift your hips up wildly. Lift your right knee up. Let's see if we can carefully, softly place the right foot at the top of the mat. Just level your hips out here. Rise up to crescent warrior, inhale. And then turn to face the left side of the mat and turn your toes out, turn your knees out, come into a goddess pose. Reach up through the arms. Look up at your hands. Turn your palms out and cross your right wrist in front of the left. So the palms are together, your knees are wide. Push the palms into each other. And then just start to let the upper body sway side to side. Keep your arms straight-ish, mostly straight. And reach up through the fingertips, like you're drawing a line on the ceiling with your fingertips. The upper body, just be kind of passive here, like you're a piece of kelp in a gentle ocean current. Okay. And then we're going to come into eagle pose. So take your arms forward, the palms are still together, and it's a little loop-de-loop. So as your forearms loop in, your right arm crosses under, and you come into eagle with the arms. Reach up through the elbows. Exhale, pull the elbows in towards your navel. Curl in. Inhale, back up with the elbows. Unwind the arms, find warrior two with your right toes forward, your right knee is bent. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, bring the forearm to thigh, side angle pose, reach your top arm over you. Be here for a few more breaths. Try to move the kidneys back. So the kidneys are about in the mid-back, maybe a little bit higher. Back where basically the back of your ribs, the base of the back of your ribs are. I think I'm moving that space back. And push your back foot down into the floor. Make sure your right knee is pointing forward. Reach out long through the top arm. Rise up, inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, windmill your hands down to the floor. Here we go. Let's just step this back to plank pose. Inhale. Flow through your vinyasa. Lower chaturanga. You can do knees down if you like. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale. exhale to downward facing dog. Take your feet wide to the edges of your mat. Shift forward to plank, shoulders over your wrist. Take your left arm out to the side. Pause here. And then take the left arm under you towards your right shin. Your hips are up in a down dog. You're in a twist. You're looking out under your right arm. And then shift back forward to plank with your arm out to the side. Lower your heels to the right. Lift up through your arm, side plank. Lower the hips down as you exhale, swing your top arm down. Inhale, lift up through the hips, lift your top arm. And now your left foot is going to just transfer around to the floor behind you. And come into wild thing, straight through the right leg, bend through the left leg. Let's lift up through the left leg, lift the knee. We're going to carefully place the left foot to the top of the mat. Slow and control, level out through your hips. Inhale, rise up to crescent warrior. And then pivot to face the right side of your mat, coming back into horse pose. Reach your arms up, look up. Turn your palms out, and this time the left wrist crosses in front. The palms come together, the arms are straight. Start to sway slowly side to side. Now, notice what your pelvis is doing in space. We don't want to tuck it under, but we don't want to flare the butt back either. We don't want to flare the sit bones back either. So the pelvis is in a nice neutral position right underneath your spine. You're not tucking, and you're not doing a big sway back either. Just nice alignment in the spine. One more time to each side. Push the palms together, arms are straight. And then inhale, the arms reach up. Now, keeping the arms and the hands as they are, just reach your arms forward, and it's a little loop-de-loop with the arms. This time the left arm crosses under. I'll just turn a little bit to the side so you can see. So we've got eagle arms, and we've got horse pose in the legs. Lift up through the elbows. Exhale, pull the elbows in towards your navel. Tuck the chin. Inhale, lift up through the elbows again. And unwind the arms. Come into Warrior Two with your left toes facing forward, bend into the left knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, left forearm to thigh, side angle pose. Push into the outer edge of the back foot. Send your breath into the back of your ribs. Try to reach the crown of the head forward, reach the inner edge of your left knee forward. One more breath. Rise up, reverse your warrior, inhale. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the floor. Step back. Last time, vinyasa, lower chaturanga. Inhale to your upward facing dog, pushing into the tops of the feet. Exhale to downward dog. Let's find a brief pigeon pose. Inhale, your right leg rises behind you. Exhale, bring the right outer shin forward. So the knee is down behind the right wrist, and the foot is over to the left a bit. You can have the shin angled down if the hips are a little tighter. If the hips are more open, you might have your shin more parallel to the front of the mat. So we're all going to be really different in this pose. Now, if you have a folded blanket or something, you can place that right underneath your right hip. If you don't, I'm going to show you an option. If this pose feels kind of intense on the outer right hip, you can place a block up on the medium position right underneath your sternum. The big solar plexus area is right underneath the lower ribs. And then let the head just rest down on your stacked hands. So the block here is shifting some of the weight out of the hip, taking it a little more to the upper body, and it just softens this stretch a little bit. If it's intense, I don't want you to feel like you have to struggle within the intensity of the stretch. It should still feel nice. So if that means finding props so that it feels, the stretch is accessible, it still feels good. body, and then just take the right hip down to the floor and swing your left leg around. Left leg forward. We're coming into Janu Shirshasana. It's a hamstring and quadratus lumborum stretch. So you have your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Try to get your sit bones down. Maybe pull the flesh back and away from your sit bones and rise up through the spine. So you have your left toes, the ankles flexed, the toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Lift up through the spine, inhale. Try to line yourself over your left leg, and then as you exhale, let's just walk ourselves forward over the left leg. If you can hold on to the left foot with the right hand, that will help to lengthen out this right side of the low back, the quadratus lumborum. If you can't hold on to the foot with your hand, maybe you have a yoga strap handy. If you don't have that, it's no worries. You don't have to hold on to the foot. It's fine. You can just keep your hands on the floor. Maybe you're just staying in this more upright position. As long as you're feeling some lengthening going in the back of the hamstrings, then and it doesn't feel like it's pulling or tugging or it's any strain, then you're doing the pose perfectly. As long as you feel something and it feels somewhat good. Again, remember, we're not battling with the pose. Can you lengthen out a little bit more on every inhale, and as you exhale, maybe you just deepen down into it a bit more, even if you're more angled upright, and that's fine. And then let's come up right on the inhale. We're going to take this left foot up and over the right leg. I'm going to angle myself a little bit more forward so you can see. We're going to come into a seated twist. So left leg comes all the way up and over the right leg, and you can tuck this right foot over towards the left hip more. So this is Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fish pose. We hug this left leg in, lift up through the spine, and if this doesn't feel right for your hips, you can always bring the foot in front of the shin instead of outside of the thigh. Okay? So hug the left leg in, lift up through the spine, take the left hand behind you, and then let's find a twist to the left. And I'm doing the variation where I'm hugging this left leg in rather than hooking the elbow outside of the thigh. I just find I can get a little bit more of a hip stretch as well as a twist from hugging this leg in closely. So both of your sit bones rooting down, rise up through the crown of the head, and twist to the left. Your back hand is an active part of this pose, the whole arm actually. So think of the back arm and hand as like a kickstand, and you're pushing down into the left hand and using that to generate some lift in the spine. And let's come back around through center, and you'll just swing the legs back under you and come back into downward dog. Be here for 2 or more breaths. And then we'll do that whole thing on the left leg. So lift your heels and bring the left outer shin forward. The knee is right behind the left wrist. Lengthen your right leg back behind you. Now, if you want to stay up on straight arms, that's fine. You can. There's some days, like if I've been hiking a lot and I'm sore, there's some days where I just do this pose with my arms straight, and that's fine. Or you can grab your block, place it directly under the lowest part of your ribs, and just settle yourself right down onto the center of the block, and then rest your head on your stacked arms. This is still too intense. Prop yourself up even more, maybe put a folded blanket under your hip or a bolster if you have that. So everything soften here for a moment as much as you can. Prop yourself up as much as you need so that you can find some comfort with a little bit of intensity, but there's still some degree of comfort. Again, you're not It's your body's way of saying you've gone too far and there's some danger there. So you need to pay attention to that. Let's lift the head. Come back up onto your hands. Lower this left hip down and swing the right leg forward. Okay, so the left sole of the foot comes to the inner right thigh. Your knee is out to the side. Your right leg is forward. Let's line the upper body up more or less over this right leg. So let's flex through the ankle of the right foot so the toes point up. Lift up through the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Start to walk yourself forward over the right leg. If you can, you hold on to the foot with your left hand. So I keep the right hand on the floor. And I'm trying to lift my right waistline and my right ribs. And then reach out longer through the left side of my back. Again, if holding the foot is not feasible, maybe use a yoga strap. Connect your hand to the foot using a strap, or you can just keep both hands down. There's many times when I'm teaching in a studio and I'll see people in the pose and they are higher up like this, and this is fine. As long as you're feeling some lengthening, but it's not a strain in the back of this right leg, and this is perfect for you. You don't have to hold on to the foot. One more breath here. And let's lift ourselves up to vertical. Now this right foot is going to come all the way up and over, just outside of the thigh. So lean back a little bit, and then right foot just crosses up and over the bottom leg. And again, the option here is to have the foot in front of the shin instead. If this just feels too much for the hips, we're going to hug this right leg in, take the right hand to the floor behind you. Push the sit bones down, lift up through the spine, inhale. Exhale, turn to the right. Ooh, I just got a little crack a little chiropractic adjustment in my back. Hope you got one of those little cracks too. It feels kind of good, like some space just got liberated. So the crown of the head is lifting up. The sit bones are grounding down. We're hugging this top leg in. Using the back arm to create some more elongation in the spine. And let's unwind out of the twist. Just take the hands to the floor behind you. Unwind your legs, feet to the floor, and then let's lie onto our backs. Let's find something nice and symmetrical. So let's find happy baby. Hold on to the outer edges of your feet. Pull the knees down towards your armpits, and then try to press your sacrum all the way down to the floor, like you're making a triangular imprint of your sacrum on your yoga mat. That's going to help to lengthen out the spine. And lower your feet nice and slow to the floor. Let's find Shavasana. Extend the legs forward, take the arms just slightly out, angled away from the body. Palms are face up. And before you get too relaxed here, see if you can move the shoulder blades down the back, not so much in towards the spine, but down the back. And then notice if the left and right side of your sacrum feels even. And if it doesn't, you might use your hands to just pull the flesh out and away from your sacrum, and then settle everything back down until you feel like you're even through the back of the hips. Close your eyes. Relax through your legs. Relax through the lower abdomen. Just allow the breath to move all the way down to the lower abdomen. Allow the internal organs to find some space and some freedom. Relax through the arms, let them lay heavy on the floor. The fingers be soft. The head be completely supported by the ground under you. Breath is natural. And then just begin to deepen the breath. Move through the fingers, the wrists, the toes, the ankles. Maybe let the head rock slowly side to side. Bring the head back to center. Reach your arms all the way back towards the wall behind you and stretch the body long from the wrists down through the ankles. And then bend your knees, feet to the floor, hug the legs in towards you. Just wrap the arms around the legs. And roll over to one side. And press yourself up to seated. Bring the hands to your heart. And bow your head to your heart. And then lift your gaze. I thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and I'll see you again soon. Namaste.